Alright, so today we're going to replace this Andersen window crank. And you can see right here on the plastic it's broken. And what happens with these over the years is the mechanism inside, there's like a corkscrew kind of thing, gets broken. And when it does, when you go ahead and open this or close this, what happens is the corkscrew that's inside, that little piece, breaks off and it doesn't catch. So it won't open and close. So we're going to go ahead and replace this and show you how to do it. But the thing with these windows is, you can see here, there is a piece of wood. This needs to come off, unfortunately. And then you can go ahead and staple it back in. We're going to go ahead and remove this and show you how to do it right now. This is the part that we're going to go ahead and replace it with. And you can see it's a split arm operator, and it comes with a whole mechanism. So you can get that at Home Depot, no problem. Alright, so I already took the handle out. What we're going to do is we're going to salvage this piece right here if we need it for something else, but it does come with this piece. We're going to remove, as you can see, this part right here. We're going to remove this piece of wood. So the first thing I'm going to do to remove this wood piece is I'm going to go ahead and just score it like I am here with the razor blade, because this will have to come out. So I'm just going to score it as much as I can on the corners here. Okay, hopefully it comes out all in one piece, and you probably will have to paint this again. There's nothing you can do about that. Just want to score it as much as I can. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a putty knife like this, or a compound knife, and we're going to go ahead and just put that underneath there as much as we can. Okay, you can see what I'm doing here is just I'm going to hammer this in so I can get underneath that piece of wood, and then slowly I'm trying to pry it open. You can see I kind of cracked it here, so it's going to happen. And the good thing is I can just paint this afterwards. So go ahead and try to pry it. There it is. Okay. I'll have to do this side as well, but you can see we kind of cracked it over here. Not a big deal. We can use some wood glue and glue that back in. Alright, you can see what I'm doing here. Just going like this, and there is some nails here. That's what you hear. Just pry it really slow here. You can see the whole thing lifts. You can see the nails right here. But you can see where I cracked it as well, and we'll fix that with some wood glue. So now it's just a matter of taking it out, and here it is. There's the piece. Unfortunately, with these windows, it's a pain because you have to take this whole piece off. So that's the piece I took out of there. So now what we're going to do is, you can see I removed what was in here. We're going to take these two screws out of here. There's one screw there, one screw there. And then we're just going to disconnect it from here. Another thing too is, when you buy this, you notice that it says left hand. There's a right hand and left hand. So looking at the window, you would think that it opens to the right hand, but you have to look at it from the outside. So from the outside, this is a left opening window. So don't look from inside. When you buy the hardware, look from the outside. So this is a left opening window, not a right opening window. See now, it's nice and loose. So all we got to do is just remove this. Right, to remove the arm, what you do here is, you see this clip right here. You can just take a flathead screwdriver and just push it that way, and it comes off. There it is. Okay, and then the whole piece just comes off. So it's the old piece. We're going to replace it with a new one. We'll clean all of this, line it up where it was, and we'll get this working. So you can see the new piece, and what basically all we're going to do now is just line it up where the holes were, put the screw, put the clip back on there, and that's it. It should work. Then we put the wood piece back on here, and the window's good as new. So now I closed the window here, as you can see, and I'm going to go ahead and put that in there and push that clip in there. Go ahead and put the cover on here. Just this cover right here. Now when it comes to this, we'll go ahead and remove those nails so that we can place this back over here and touch it up. So we'll go ahead and remove these nails right now. If you do have staples or nails, the easiest thing is to get a pair of pliers and just do what I do here. Just use it for leverage and just pull it out. You gotta pull it out like this, and the whole thing comes out, see? Alright, same thing if you have staples or for these finished nails. Just use a pair of pliers and remove it like that. And I will be touching this up, so it's okay to have a few spots where you need to paint. So I did put silicone, as you can see. You don't want to put wood glue, because if you put wood glue, you're never going to get this out. You're never going to get this piece out, and you have to make a new piece. So with silicone, at least you could pry it once the silicone dries. So that's why I'm using silicone instead of using wood adhesive or wood glue. And what the silicone is going to do also is going to protect from drafts coming in. So I think what I'm going to do, I didn't want to do this, but I'm going to put some nails on here just to hold it down a little bit more. And I do have a brad nailer, but if you don't have a brad nailer, you could just put some fine nails in there. One in there, maybe put one here in the middle. And I'll put one here too. Okay, so we'll go ahead and put the new handle in the window here. There's a screw that's gonna hold the handle in place. And we'll go ahead and test it now. You can see it's working, no problem. So while we have this open, I'm gonna go ahead and lube this over here and some of these arms, so the operation here of opening and closing a window is smoother. You can see it's all set now. Okay. This piece of metal inside here is what opens the arm all the way in, all the way out. And you can see by looking at it, it's missing a piece of metal right there. See how it's chipped at the end? And what happens when that happens, it loses its ability to stay in place. So it'll always come out. And you can tell when this starts to happen is, you can see right here on this plastic here, there's a crack. And that happens because over time from using it, there's dirt in there and it's not greased up enough, and you have to put more pressure on the handle. And when you do, this corkscrew that's in here works harder, and sometimes it breaks. When it breaks, it comes all the way out, and that's why you see when you're using the handle here, this will bulge up because it's trying to come off, and there's not enough leverage on here to open the window. So usually this is what happens, is this piece in here that is broken. You can see that piece of metal that's broken in there, that's been chewed up for over the years, and that's because this arm has to work harder. And you can see the old arm that we just removed is really dry in there, and that's what happens from opening and closing. That piece of metal breaks. Hopefully Andersen somehow fixes the problem. I mean, the windows are great, but this is a very common thing here with this split arm design here, where this thing actually stops functioning, and usually it's because of this metal here that's chewed up. Okay, and I'll demonstrate that one more time. If you go ahead and put it in there, you can see that goes in there no problem. Alright, you can see the split arm move. Alright, but then when we go ahead and try to open it, there's nothing for it to catch at the end there anymore, and it just comes off. And a lot of the times what's preventing this from coming off is the actual plastic piece, and you can see from putting more pressure on it, it starts to crack over time.